My name's Belle Brown, and Miss French is my chemistry teacher.
My AP Environmental Science teacher was Miss French.
And my chemistry teacher was Miss French. I think she's a nerd, yeah, definitely.
Well, she's paid to be a nerd.
I know she hikes because she was like talking a lot about how she hikes, and she's got like a hiker haircut.
She probably wakes up at 3 in the morning, goes barefoot running in the mountains, then probably has a cup of coffee.
I think she has kids.
And then comes to school, and then has another cup of coffee.
She knits.
And then teaches some classes.
Just kidding.
And then as soon as school's out, she drives up into the mountains with her family and her dogs and goes skiing.
Does that thought will be there?
Or snowshoeing. I think she likes snowshoeing.
I feel like she might have dogs, but maybe she's a cat person. I'm not really sure.
She's definitely more of a dog person.
I would guess dog person.
Think dog?
I think dog people are cooler.
Yeah, dog. I have 3 dogs. I am Monica French, and I have the pleasure of teaching science at Highland High School. So my whole house is like, when I was a kid, we were all, well, my dad was a scientist, so we did the whole 20 questions at dinner, and you know, you were kind of trained and taught to think like a scientist, so it was embedded into us early on. So we used to make beer. So my dad used to make his own homemade beer. And so I got to help him with all the, you know, the chemistry, the measuring, the figuring out how much sugar and the yeast and the fermenting process and the bottling. And so that was my first exposure to chemistry. And then when I was a kid, we would build our own fireworks. And so, and yeah, that was how I got into this stuff.
Gonna be red.
Which one just left in?
Yep, and so it just kind of hit me in the face that maybe I was just meant to be a teacher. The highlight of my teaching career? Quite often, on a regular basis, I get highlights. This is really corny. But it's really that every day when I walk home and I know my kids have figured something out, my students have figured something out and they're successful, those are really the highlights. That's what keeps me going. The worst thing about my job is the time. I never have enough time to do all the things I want to do. Right now, I'm working on a master's, so I'm writing a thesis. Like most weekends, I'm not home. I am a canyoneer, so I go down to southern Utah and climb through canyons and do rock climbing and camp and go as far away from cities as I can possibly get away from. I have this view of energized. I'm energized and I'm ready to jump back into the classroom. That's really important. So there's 2 atoms in a bar, and one atom was really drinking lots of drinks. And the other atom turns to him and goes, "Hey, what's up? What's wrong?" And the guy goes, the depressed one goes, "Dang it, I lost my electron." And the other atom goes, "How do you know? How do you know?" It's because I'm positive. Okay, that's bad, but that's about as good as it's gonna get.